And I think we are live. Let us know you can hear us, everybody. Welcome to the third round of the 24 hours of F1. We are staying in the North America region. We're in Canada today for the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm doing my third hour. You'll be pleased to hear that I'll be gone by the end of this. But joining me in the commentary box for is 2 hours. Well, he's joining me for 1 hour and then he's joining J. Cole for the second hour. We have got Nolan. Nolan, how you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm ready for the worst 1 hour of my life, spending it with you. But after that, we've got J. Cole, so it should be good after that.
Yes, indeed.
I've got a harder stint later on. You're not giving me justice. I've got a terrible graveyard shift later on in the night, so I don't know what time that's going to be by the time we actually get round to it. It should be 3, but it's probably going to be about 7 AM, innit, by the time we get there.
Yes, I'm looking forward for you to commentate on that because I'll probably be up for most of the 24 hours. So we've got our roll cards to go through. So the team that's going to be starting last is Context to Speed Esports, and the team that's going to have 3 seconds deducted from their race time will be Hasbullah's Devoted Disciple. I don't know who has come up with that name, but what a name. So there we go. So, Canadian Grand Prix, it was the first iteration for a while, obviously since it got cancelled due to COVID a while back, but it did make an appearance this time. And let's go on board with Krombacher for the start of this lap as he heads towards turn number 1. Luckily, we got all 20 drivers on the grid, which is great to see. And you're going to be heading towards 5th gear here through 6, 7 as you head towards turn 4 as well. A lot of people can cut corners through there, but he doesn't seem to have too much trouble heading through that chicane. A lot of people can go on front right here as they head towards turn 6 and 7. We've got another DRS and a few invalidations already by the looks of things. There's a few people dropping. Obviously Nova starting at the back of the grid due to his team starting last. Then we've got this infamous turn 8, 9 and 10 hairpin, which catches a few drivers out. It caught me out a few times when I was doing it back in 2020, I believe. That was when I was racing in the 24-hour event for the first time. Down this DRS straight, we've got him in P7 at the moment. We've got Nikosos in the other hat on pole at the moment. I wonder if that's going to change very soon as he heads towards the final corner. Kisses the wall of champions, did not hit it though, luckily. And what time is he going to set? He's going to set 1:10.5, but the fastest is QBR Campbell for QBR with a 1:09.840. So, any surprises there?
Nah, he's a little sweat. I've actually heard that Campbell's been practicing Canada since last week, non-stop, 8 hours a day for this race, so it doesn't surprise me at all. He watches YouTube videos on how to get better, so it's just sweaty.
Yeah, good. I think QBR have done very well in general in this 24 hours so far. They're definitely going to be, I think, right at the top once we get the standings sorted at some point. But we'll run through your order then for the third race of the 24-hour. Campbell from Nikosos, from Will Lewis, AJ, Lewis, Krombacher. There's a lot of Lewises, by the way, in this lobby. We've got Jerry, Cortez, Jerome and Schleck in 10th. Then we've got Joshua Renz, Terrace are your final ones who set a lap. Then we got J. Cole, Leroy, Savante, Ivan Mike, RJ Videos, Harry B, and the one who was meant to be starting last is starting last anyway. So all good. quite a lot of invalidations. First host to Canadian Grand Prix in 1978. Has also played host to one of my favourite races in Formula 1, where we saw Jenson Button make 6 stops and still managed to win the race, and he overtakes Sebastian Vettel on the final lap. One of the longest races ever. So I think I don't know how many safety cars there was. Luckily, no, we won't have any safety cars in this event, so at least they don't have to contend with that, and no rain either, so all is well. Any drivers do you think that could bring a surprise up?
Well, to be honest, I think this track, everyone's probably going to get a penalty. I've not. If you get through this track without a penalty, that's crazy. Which is interesting. You're saying the person that has 3 seconds taken off their time. It's interesting they've chose this track because that's basically you've got a free penalty, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you can get that taken off you essentially with the 3 seconds. So it's interesting use of it. I wouldn't personally use it here just because of how easy it is to pick up a penalty. But if you don't, if they just play their race to avoid penalties, they could probably get a lot at the end. But
5 red lights.
this is. Oh, there's no formation lap, is
Yeah,
there?
no formation lap. We're about to get underway for the 3rd race of 24 hours of F1. And it is lights out and away we go. Let's see who has the best start. It is Campbell going in towards turn 1. Will Lewis for VSR also had a good start as well with AJ, I think, VRT having the best of starts as well. Oh, there's contact in the background.
There's a safety car driving around the track.
Hang on.
The safety car is look at 13th.
Oh my god.
The safety car's in the race.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to see. Oh my god. Hopefully. Oh god. AJ's hit the safety car. Okay. Well, that is something to kick off the... I wonder if we're going to get a lobby restart for this. I don't know. As Jerome
no.
has had a bit of a spin. Oh my god, that was... I'm already starting to lose it. This is my first hour in the commentary box, and by the way, safety car has been turned off, and it still comes out on track.
I was watching turn 3, and there's just this safety car diving up the inside of someone.
Luckily, it's only on the stream. None of the drivers are experiencing it. It's just us on stream.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the safety car took someone out because someone span right next to it, and I thought the safety car just binned them.
Right, anyway, carrying on, Will Lewis got past Campbell into the race lead at the moment. We got pretty much a mixed bag of people starting on the softs and mediums. Only one driver's on the hards, that's Suwonte from League of Europe. Everyone else has gone for the softs or the mediums. So Verona had to go into the pits on for a set of the soft compounded tyres. It looks like, yeah, soft compounded tyres for him. Don't know why he's gone for that, but at least his first stop is out of the way. But we are starting to see, I think, people break that DRS window already. Lewis is broken away by 1 second already. We got Nova, who's making progress from his last 2 challenge, already up into 12th place. Could get past Leroy from QRT, heading towards this hairpin, but not quite just yet. The ones who made the biggest losers is NXX with Krombacher down 12, Jerome down 11, and ERT down 12. So those are the 3 teams that have lost out in this. QBR's lost 1, and Nicole Sauce in his team, he's lost 1 as well. The biggest gainer is from the Disciples team, who's got the 3 seconds taken off. Harry B, he's up to 14th, and he's gained 5 places. But AJ's got past the Esports Wales team, up to 15th.
Yeah, and you just speak about AJ picking up a penalty on the first lap. So he's already got a 3 second penalty. I don't know what he did on lap 1, but it's not gone well. He's already on a tightrope for the rest of the race. And I'm looking at this lineup. This is just Ariel alumni at this point. I'm seeing like 7 people that used to be in our team that all left. We are absolutely washed. And then we've got 3 people that are in our team racing for someone else.
Yeah, like J. Cole. So, Harry B trying to go down the inside. The Reds make a bit of contact there. Almost lost it through turn A, but Harry B just about gets the job done. So he's up into 13th place now. AJ now go down the side of Renz. AJ's making moves despite the fact that he spun on lap 1. So he's up to 14th position. So he'll be happy with that comeback, at least at the moment. Nova could get past Leroy here once again. J. Cole's had a good start, by the way. Obviously, one of our commentators from earlier on, one of the people who organised this 24-hour. He's up to 10th. He's gained 4 places. So, to be honest, he set the bar high for all the other commentators for this 24-hour who is racing in this event. So, yeah, I guess...
I'll set the bar.
Oh, you set the bar.
I'll set the bar for the commentators.
But J. Cole's technically the first one to race, technically.
I'm just watching everyone drive through a safety car now.
Oh, God. Oh,
this game. Esports ready.
Oh,
Esports ready, boys.
The thing is, the drivers are not seeing it. So that their engineers are going to be like, there's a safety car on the track, and they're going to be like, no, there's not. But yeah, so if we do end up laughing because of that, we do apologise. I hope this doesn't happen in any of the other races for the commentators, because otherwise I'm just going to end up dying in a hole, unfortunately. But yeah, the reason why we're doing this, by the way, we're raising money for British Heart Foundation and Brain Tumour Research, 2 very brilliant charities. Let me just check how much we are on in the British Heart Foundation. I will check in a minute, because there is a battle between Terra Racer and Shellac. Terra Racer goes down the inside there before the final corner, and he's up into 8th position. So the Aston Martin drivers doing very well so far, as we're on lap 5 of 35. Will Lewis still leads the way. Jerry has got a 3-second time penalty, so is AJ, so is RJW Videos in the Williams. Jerome is holding the wooden spoon at the moment, down in 20th, but don't forget some people have done their first stops, so they got that. Actually, no, it's only him that's done his first stop. Okay, that explains it then. So
that's a smart move, that, actually.
Well, I think he had damage. I
don't know. I think he... If I know Jerome, that's one of those where he'll pit early. If you get clean air at Canada, he can just lap on his own now. He'll probably go for a long time on the softs and just switch, I'm going to guess, to the mediums, or maybe to the hards at the end and just do that.
Yeah, that could work, to be honest, because the mediums do tend to last quite a bit around here, as I experienced in my league races. So, yeah, fair play. 20 laps it could last for. Yellow flag. Don't know what that's for. Oh, no. Well, for Team 4S, setting the
commentators.
J. Cole's going to hate me. Oh, God. Right, he has full permission to curse me in the next race, because I just jinxed him so much, saying he set the bar high.
Oh, RJ's in the wall as well.
RJ's in the wall.
That's what we love.
Yeah, I said he was going to do well, and now he's retired for his team. So yeah, he has full permission to curse me in the next race. And if I don't do well, it's always fault. Anyway, Cronbacker's passed AJ up to 13th position. So, by the way, Nolan, our first retirement of this 24-hour is the one who organised this 24-hour.
Yeah, he is useless, but he has set the bar for the boys, so...
Well, at least if I finish next race, I'll set the bar. Actually, no,
so
Mike's racing. Mike's racing. So yeah, it's Mike that's setting the bar now.
Mike's a silent assassin, just you watch.
Yeah, he likes
this train
Canada.
in the middle, though. Oh, dear me. Nova just front locked completely there, almost dived into someone. I'm noticing this little middle pack is quite dangerous. Everyone just seems to be locking up into every corner. I think Nova's going to go for a move on Harry. No, he's not. That'd be a very silly place to go for it, but I'm expecting something crazy to happen between these guys soon, and it's probably the best idea for someone to pit and try to get an undercut, because you've got 2 pits. You may as well make the most out of it.
Yeah, Shellac has been passed by Harry B into turn 1. Nice move from him. We've got Nova as well in this fight as well, as I'm starting to get a bit of a fog in my throat once again. Apologies if we have to mute suddenly, both of us. We've got awful coughs. So I think most of the commentators are not feeling too good as well. So, oh my God, they passed the safety car again. What the...
Safety car's having a stinker. It's been lapped 3 times already. It needs to up its game, but Nova's going to go for the move on the inside. Should be easy enough. I think we're still seeing the softs be the better tyre at the moment, but it will be close to changing over.
Yes, it would.
But we noticed it at the start with Will Lewis. He pulled past Campbell quite quick, didn't he, on those softs? And he's just pulled a bit of a gap, and it's not closing down just yet. I don't know what Will Lewis's pace is like. I'm not really aware of PC side, but I know Campbell's very fast.
He is quick. He does race, I believe. I think it's F2 or F3 3 in PSGL PC.
That's easy. Easy. I could be an F1 if I wanted to. They've said I'm too fast to be in there, so it's unfair on the rest of the drivers. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I was actually going to be an F1 driver, but they said we're going to give it to this Lewis Hamilton guy because if you take it, Jack, you'll dominate.
Very true. As Jerry and Tara make their first stops for their respective teams. So Tara Racer on the medium, so is Jerry Rocks as well. Ren's getting a 3-second time penalty so far. So we got...
Middlesbrough 1-0 up against Burnley, boys. That is the news of the day.
Spoiler.
We are 1-0 down.
Right, so...
I'm fuming.
Luckily, I'm not interested in football, so there we go. But lap 8 of 35, Harry B now challenging Leroy. I had to say Harry B's having a good race. I'm scared of saying people having good races because I've said that to quite a few drivers in this race so far, and they binned it. So, yeah, I've only had one commentator's curse it throughout the whole event, and that was in USA. So, and I've had about 2 or 3 in one space, in one event, one race alone. So hopefully this stops now as Harry B almost tried to get past Leroy to no avail. Lewis is into the pits now on a set of the mediums. Another yellow flag. That is something in the front, I think, but I'm not entirely sure as Harry gets past Leroy, this time up to 6th place. I believe it's Lens that's got lapped, unfortunately, which is a shame. But yeah, we've got people making their pit stops. It's pretty much everyone apart from Will Lewis that started on the softs is onto a set of, I believe, mediums.
Yeah, and it's the right time to do it as well. I'm looking at the time. Lewis has really lost a lot of time to Campbell in the last lap and a half. So the mediums, clearly the better tyre now, and I think Will Lewis will be a bit silly if he doesn't pit this lap. Unless he's got some master plan up his sleeve, but he has lost nearly a full second to Campbell in this last lap, so I think he stayed out 1 lap too long, maybe, on those soft tyres. And he's staying out again.
He's staying out!
That's interesting.
Rens is out of the race.
He must have some sort of idea of what he wants to do for a pit strategy.
Ren's retired in the pits. Now, my advice to you, do not retire in the pits. I know it has temptation if you're a lap down or whatever. A point can make a difference between where you are in the championship. So, if you are a driver that you know that like me that you're probably going to be slow, just keep going. I know the race may be boring for you, but just keep going because
it's
now
for charity.
It's for charity at the end of the day. So unless you're like J. Cole who binned it in the wall, just don't retire in the pits. I can understand obviously if they crash out, but if they retire in the pits.
If you retire in the pits, then you said that you don't believe in charity, which makes you a horrible person.
Exactly. So there we go.
IRT Rens doesn't believe in charity. Spread the word.
Spread the word. But yeah. Oh my God, the safety car again. So any potential moves that you're seeing right now?
I'm seeing Campbell. He is right up the back, and yet now Willis will come in, and I'm surprised he stayed out that extra lap. Campbell's gained a 1.5 seconds on him, and he's just kind of thrown away a chance to overcut him because now he's going to have to lap. Maybe he was wondering where he's going to come out in a gap, but he's just lost more and more time. I think he's actually going to put himself in a group of cars that he wouldn't have been in if he'd have hit 2 laps earlier. But he's better than me at the video game, so he probably knows more than... He's probably thinking, this guy's never even won a race in D2, so why am I listening to him? But he's coming out, he's in P7, he's got a little bit of clean air, but he's not got... They're not exactly easy drivers to overtake, and it's not a track where you can overtake a lot, so... Let's see what he can do on these mediums, see how fast they heat up. We know in this game, your outlap is quite important because your tyres take a while to warm up, which is why... We won't see many people touching the hards on this track, or any track, for that matter.
Well, we did see it, I think, with Montana in the last race in USA. He touched the hard tyres, but to be fair, he's a pad goat, so... It's
Montana, isn't it?
Yeah, so. Exactly. So if anyone can make the hards work, it's Montana. He can go on any tyre and still be quick. So, yeah. Don't touch the hards unless you got damage. That's my advice. As Lewis... into their hairpin, gets the move done on Krombacher. I'm surprised he got the move done there. Oh, he's got DRS still. He's got DRS. That's very, very interesting and very smart tactical thinking from Lewis there to get the move so after the detection point. So then you'll still have the DRS. So that was very good from Lewis. Are now up to 9th. Meanwhile, Krombacher is in the pits for a set of another set of mediums. Well, it's got to be another set of mediums. He's got a 5-second penalty. He's still stuck in the pits.
Everyone's going to be doing like a variation of 2 mediums and a soft. That'll be my guess. That'll be the most popular. Obviously, there will be some crazy madman out there which goes for 2 softs or something. But for the most part, I do think we'll see variations of 2 mediums and a soft. Probably for most tracks, actually. It's just the same. The mediums are really good on most tracks this year. And the
especially
softs,
here.
they just overheat. Softs overheat so quick on a lot of tracks.
Apart from Jeddah, I think they last quite a bit around Jeddah, I think. But we'll find out once we get to Jeddah tomorrow, which I believe is the penultimate round of the 24-hour. As Will, now up to 6th place, and he's now chasing down people that have been on those mediums for 11 laps already. And don't forget, this pit lane is a bit short. The loss is a bit shorter compared to a lot of tracks on the calendar. The other one being Zandvoort. 16.5 seconds. Let's see where Will is in relation to Campbell.
He just got an 11.8 and on that last lap. And if I look at Campbell's last time, it was a 13.4.
Oh God! Will has hit Harry B. I hope that was not desync.
No.
But yeah, it might have been one of them not giving each other space. But Harry B's now dropped to 8th place. Now Will's going to lose a chunk of time, which means Campbell may breathe a sigh of relief. He'll probably come out ahead of Will Lewis now because he's lost crucial time to potentially be ahead of Will Lewis, to be ahead of Campbell, unfortunately. But yeah, surely that will be investigated, but let's just pray it's not desync. But obviously we will find out very, very soon. Let me get the gaps back up to interval. There we go. And I'll get the tyres up as well.
The thing is, as well, with that, I think Campbell has to worry at the moment more about Nico behind him. Nico's been lapping quite fast. He closed down to nearly half a second earlier on. I think he's just dropped off last lap. So I think Campbell's main focus right now should be on the man right behind him because he's not dropping him. They're both on similar ERS. And if Lewis has just got into that incident, they can probably breathe a little bit. But he is still lapping Lewis about 1.5 seconds faster than them currently.
He is. He's still doing quite well. 14.5 seconds to P2 right now as well, with Nikos Sos still yet to box as well. Cortez has just come in. Josh Evans has come in as well. Harry B has just come in too. Bearing in mind this is on reduced damage. If it was on simulation or standard damage, I would imagine Harry would have been out of that race. So I think Harry got away very too much, I think. But I think he probably would have got minor damage somewhere. That's probably why he's gone into the pits early for his stop. How many viewers we're on at the moment? We're on 78 viewers, by the way. So thank you very much to everyone that's sticking with us at the moment. And we got Campbell and Nikos who's come in for their first stop, which means everybody has done at least one stop. So we'll see where Will Lewis comes out in relation to Campbell and Nikos. So Will Lewis gets towards turn 1. And Will Lewis is leading by only by 5/10 per second. Now 1.5, 1.6, yeah. So Will Lewis leads. Cortex is now ahead of Schleck, and Schleck's come in. So is that his second stop? I think it might be. So there we go. Everyone has done their first stop, and Will Lewis leads from Campbell.
Yeah, that shows just how fast he's been lapping, because even with that little incident, he's still managed to come out over a second ahead. He was lapping so fast on those fresh mediums, but I think Campbell now will probably be thinking it's a race for second. Obviously, they've still got their soft stint to go, so you never know what will happen. But Will Lewis does look a little bit too fast for everyone else behind him currently.
Yes, I think too fast, I think, at the moment. But I have to say, well, I don't represent VSR as a driver, but I am VSR as a content creator. So it's for me personally, it's great to see them up top at the moment. Bearing in mind he has a 3-second penalty, and so is Campbell, but it is quite easy to get the time penalties around here anyway. So meanwhile, Harry B has got past Schleck up to 12th place. By the way, the only driver who has made his 2 stops is Jerome in 17th. No one else has done their 2 stop. Jerome could close in on RJ videos very soon as well, so that could be exciting. By the way, we've got a massive DRS train from the likes of Jerry down in 5th place to, oh, that was close from Leroy and AJ there, down to Nova in 11th place. So if you were Cortex and Joshua, you'll be loving life right now because you hardly got any penalties. Joshua, I think, is a little bit further away, so he's technically leading that train. Anyway, we've got 2 DRS trains as well. We'll see what Leroy can do. It's going to be DRS. Leroy, I think, is quicker than Terra Racer, so let's see what he can do with his ERS. He's on 8%. Not using his battery, so I think he's being a bit patient. AJ being a bit patient as well. That's just the danger of these DRS trains. You just can't get past because you're stuck in them for a long time. Ideally, you want to be the one chasing the lead of this train.
Yeah, I think on a track like this, you don't really want to be in a train because it's just, you can kind of get caught up in a rhythm of sitting behind someone, which we're going to see QRT Leroy maybe go for a move yet. Quite simple on Terra Racer before, yeah, he's way ahead of him before we even get to the corner, but we do like to see people go side by side through that chicane. It does cause for a few moments, hopefully towards the end of the race as people get a bit more desperate, but the penalties I've just noticed are really starting to rile in. AJ is already on 9 seconds. We've got a few 5 seconds, so people speeding into the pits.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 3-second penalties are already piling up.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of 3-second time penalties, so I don't want to be the one doing the maths coming into this as well. So
who is it that has the 3-second removal?
Hasbulat's devoted disciples, which is Harry B in the Red Bull.
Oh no. I mean, there's a oh yeah, oh dear. Yeah, it's not looking like the best of uses for that one.
He's already on 5 seconds, so he's gonna get.
He's got a 2-second penalty. I mean, no, he still has to pit again, so he will serve that, won't he?
Yeah. He hasn't done his second stop yet, so. But he's going to lose a chunk of time. Good. No, not looking good at all. To be honest, with some teams, you don't know why people are chosen the wild cards in certain tracks as well. From round 4, we will start to see the double points being used again. The 3 seconds off wildcard won't be used until Singapore in round 8. So.
Well, how did you guys do it? How did your team decide? Because we span a wheel.
Well, we just looked at just the shortest tracks, and we felt like that there was going to be a DRS train around Saudi Arabia, and we know there's going to be a bit of carnage. So we thought we'd pick that, and then double points. One of our teammates is very good around Abu Dhabi, so out of all of us, so we just thought he would be the best person to do the double points because he's probably one of the quickest drivers in our team around that track. Not doing quite as well, unfortunately, in Canada, but to be fair, we just want to have some fun because we literally got... Saronte was one of the drivers who got into our team last minute because we needed more drivers, so fair play to him for still going. We didn't even
go for pace. We honestly, just spanned the wheel and just decided we'll just get in both.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. And for the ret race, I just like Portugal, so... and to be fair, did you have any trouble... Oh, as we got battles, I will talk about what I was going to talk about in a minute. Has AJ left the session? Because he's ghosted. No, he's not ghosted. He must have had a bit of a spin. Side by side with
he's been absolutely shut out by Nova there. No room given whatsoever.
No, it doesn't look like it, does it? But AJ has more penalties than Nova, so I was wondering why AJ was fighting that too much, but he wanted to get rid of that disadvantage that he's had so far. So Leroy, I believe, has had a penalty. Yeah, he's had a penalty so far. So yeah, not good at all by the looks of things so far. Let's go 3-second penalty. These penalties are going big, left, right, and centre. You have a penalty. You have a penalty.
Yeah, currently, ETA, Lewis, Cortez, and Evans are the only people. I mean, I guess Saronte, but he's kind of out of the race, sadly. Are the only people without penalties at the moment. So they've basically got their own little free 3 seconds off wildcard that they've cashed in.
Yeah,
'cause everyone else
exactly. Lewis
gonna lose time
Cortez
to
and
them.
Joshua especially were going to gain masses.
I mean,
Oh, the
it depends
safety
what the
car's
pits
back.
are like.
The safety car's back.
It depends what the pits are like, because the people ahead do still have a gap to them. It might not actually change too much to the outcome. Maybe for Evans it will, but for the people ahead, I think the front three are kind of in a league of their own, pace-wise, at the moment.
Yeah, I think the one that has the advantage is Lewis because he's got 3 seconds, Campbell's got 5, but Campbell can remove his 5 second when he goes into the pits, but he's going to lose a bit anyway when he goes in later on. So I literally don't know who's going to do well in that respect anyway. So
AJ's out.
oh, and that's for ERT. That's for ERT. So Canada's very, very cruel today in terms of DNS, but good news if you're still in this race because you could gain a massive at the moment. A very weird place to crash out, personally. And I got another question to ask you whilst we watch these battles go on. How did you decide who was going to do the wet race in Portugal?
The person that we hate the most in the group got it. Essentially.
Fair enough.
We did a vote, and we decided who we don't like, and then we put them on it.
Well, at least we didn't have that problem. There was quite a few of us that wanted to do it anyway, so I think we just let Harry just pick who we think he would be best, and yeah, I think he picked me.
And Campbell, just whilst we were talking about that, has picked up another 3 seconds.
Ouch.
And I was going to say it makes it interesting, but before he picked that, he'd have come out after losing 5 seconds. He'd have had to try to find 3 second gap to Nico, but now he's just going to lose 5 seconds to Nico. He's basically needs to rely on Nico to get another penalty, or else I don't know how he's going to be able to get second place back from him.
No, I think he may lose out on P3 if he's not careful, because Lewis could catch up, you never know, but the top 3 of the class are their own anyway. So should be fine. I don't think no one's on double points, I think, this race. So which I'm quite surprised with.
Do you think track limits are too strict? I know we got them on strict, but just for Canada, I feel like you get away with a lot more leeway in real life than you do.
Yeah, there's certain tracks on this game that you can get away with getting away with a few things, and it may be too lenient, but this is definitely too strict. So there's only 4 drivers that haven't picked up penalties, 3 of our front runners. So,
for the people in LOE that remember the old man himself, this is a race that we'd call a Zaldema race, where he'd just kind of chill in 4th or 5th place, and he'd end up getting the win. This is the exact kind of race that Zaldema would end up winning just by sitting behind and winning it on penalties.
When was he last in LOE, by the way?
I think he raced last season. I don't know what's happened to him. I know Excel died, and then they kind of just all the old people went with it. And then Mark, for some reason, lingers around
Mark might know.
like
Mark's
a pest
in the
at a
chat.
nursery.
Mark's in the chat. Mark might know. Go on, Mark.
Mark knows where all the oldies are in this community.
Exactly. So yeah, Mark, tell us where he is, if he raced last season or not. Thank you. I've only been in LOE for like 2 or 3 seasons, so I don't know. AJ's left the session, and is fine. Quite a few positions gained already, as Lewis is in, and so is Jerry. So I believe that's their 2 stops done. Yes, it is their 2 stops done. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have done their 2 stops. Still a lot of drivers do their 1 stop. By the way, if they don't do their 2 stops, they will get a DQ and 0 points. Everyone's on mediums, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, but there's quite a few on fresh mediums. There we go. So, not long to go until the end of this race. It's either Bryn Mike that's doing the commentators proud by still being in this race. He is down in 70, but at least he's still going, and he's on to 7 mediums. He's done his 2 start. He's going to be commentating Zandvoort, France and Britain. So if you want to hear him commentate, check him out at 10:45 tonight 5 to 1 in the morning and 2 o'clock in the morning as well. He's doing some of the graveyards shift. Fair play to him. But for him, he's still going at least down in 17th. And hopefully he can still go. Because at the moment, Esports World is not doing so well. But if he finishes, at least he will go ahead of some teams.
I will say, if we're being completely honest about this race, absolutely Bob all has happened. This has been dreadful. As far as racing goes, this has been absolutely awful, but it's just who can not get penalties. But the people that don't have penalties aren't close enough to capitalise on not having a penalty, so we'll see what the pit stops do. I think Lewis is in a really good position actually in 8th. He's done both his stops. He might jump quite a few people with no penalties either, so we'll see where he ends up coming out. I think he might be able to challenge for, I want to say 4th or 5th? But I'm not too certain where he's going to end up coming out. I know RJ's had a stinker for CSL. We won't talk about this race for him. He'll move on to another week. But don't let this distract you from the first DNF of the 24-hour event
J. Cole.
being Ariel J. Cole. And we will remind him whenever we can.
Can you remind him when you were in the box with him?
Oh, yes.
So yeah, Harry B, 3-second time penalty. Oh. So how many penalties are you on now with the 3-second time penalty removal? None. Because he's got to serve that 5 second.
With the removal, he'll be fine.
No, he's got to serve that 5 seconds as long as he doesn't get a 3 second.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Leroy on 12 ahead of him, so there's a chance.
There is a chance at the moment as well. 11 laps to go, by the way, of this Canadian Grand Prix. Yeah, the first 2 races, there's been a lot of action, but this race, what's going on? What's going on? Like,
well, it's Monaco in Canada, isn't it? Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was debating on whether to watch Monaco later or have a nap in between races, but I think after seeing this race, it's made my decision for me. I may just have a nap at Monaco.
Sleep is for the weak, Jess. We do not sleep during the 24-hour event.
I've been up since 8. So
listen, get your Monster Energy drink, slap it down you, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. That'll be fine. As Lewis is getting another, I think he's just become the penalty showdown, by the way. I think whilst it's quieting down, a perfect opportunity, by the way, to keep an eye on the donations to see who has just donated recently. No donation since we last spoke. Still on £480 for British Heart Foundation and £114 for Brain Tumour Research. So altogether, if I do quick math, aka Google, £594 so far raised combined. So thank you very much.
Someone donate £6. Get it to 600. And then you get to keep Ariel Mark.
Well, and by the way, Will has done his final stop. He's on softs. And he's gonna do. I think he's favourite to win this race. But saying that, I might have jinxed him saying that. But yeah, I hope I haven't jinxed him by saying that. But he's got a 15.2 second gap on Nikolsos. So yeah, he's gonna be ahead of both Campbell and Nikolsos because Campbell will need to serve his 5 seconds. Harry B's in for softs. Right, so let's keep an eye on stops. So from 13th to 17th, they've all done their 2 stops. Actually, no, from 10th down to 17th. Shalek still's got to make 1 stop. Leroy's still got to make 1 stop. Joshua as well. Cortez got to make 1 stop. The top 2 got to make 1 stop. Everyone else has done their mandatory 2 stops. So, yeah, there we go. So those are your update. And that's Mike that's got a time penalty. Still 3 drivers yet to pick up ones at the moment. So fair play to those guys. Sawante's not going to gain anything from it though, unfortunately. The other 2 will though. Campbell is in. He's serving his dreadful 5 second penalty, unfortunately. But he's going on softs. Let's watch Will as he comes down the start finish straight in towards T1. He's going to be way ahead. way ahead. Where's Campbell? He's still coming out of the pit lane. Nicole Sauce, where is he in relation to Will Lewis? 2.4. Will's got this in the bag as long as he doesn't bottle it.
Yeah, I didn't see Will Lewis throwing this away. Even after that incident he had with Harry early on, he still managed to go out ahead of Campbell. I think Campbell's the one that's kind of thrown away a potential P2. He's fallen behind. He's going to have to pull something out the bag to be able to... I think they're both on 3 seconds, yeah, so he's about 2.5 seconds behind. No, he's 5.8 behind, so it's not looking good. I think we're going to see a very boring train of events now. And the other person I can actually see making an attempt for a move is
Nikossos on the safety car.
Well, the safety car has been overtaken many times today, but it's trying. It is out there. It's racing for charity like everyone else. And the safety car has completed more laps than Jayco has. So, it's beaten someone this race. So we're going to see Leroy go for a move on Jerome. Not really sure how useful it'll be. He's on 12 seconds, but he gets the move done nonetheless. Switchback attempt by Jerome. We're getting a little bit of racing. I don't care how useless it is for the race, but Jerome has nothing left in his tank whatsoever. They're both flashing, which is probably the most action Jerome's had in his life. So we take that. He's in P10. This man got signed by FBR, by the way, because he was a good driver, and he's currently sat in P10, losing out to Evans Joshua in a league race. So this man is washed. Send him back to us.
And you're in the same team as him in the 24-hour, right?
Well, no, he's in Relentless. He's racing for my team, and then I'm racing for someone else's team.
Oh, right, okay. So
yeah,
he used to be. I think he used to be in Relentless then, right?
He did. He left us for pastures new, and now he's in P10. So
to be fair, I'm sure Relentless will be very happy about that. So as Jerome now overtakes the safety car.
8 races.
As a yellow flag set to 1. Oh no, please don't be Mike. No, it's Mike.
But he's not last.
Spun. Not last, no.
Not yet, but he.
Oh no, he's technically not last because there's 3 DNFs, mate.
Exactly. So Mike is. I mean, Lewis, by the way. I mean, Campbell. There's too many Lewises. I need to say the name. Campbell just put the fastest lap of the race. He is closing in on Nico slowly, so he's looking good on these softs.
He is looking good on these softs actually as well, but the penalty could affect things quite a bit here as well, as we've got 6 laps to go at the moment. By the way, I don't even know how delayed we are at the moment. The race 4 was meant to start at 4:15. It's now 4:45, so I think we're roughly about 30 to 45 minutes behind schedule at the moment.
I'd like to say this never happens, but every year this happens.
Yeah, we always have a delay, to be fair, but we always seem to find a way to not get a delay, if that makes sense.
We'll just skip Monaco. That's the only fair way.
Yeah, exactly. And Monza's quite a short track anyway, so it could be picked up anyway. Another yellow flag. That is Mike again, unfortunately. So he's now last out of the finishes so far, but he's still going to technically not last. We got a battle looming between Leroy and Joshua. Joshua closed the door on him in the final corner. Leroy has come across a lot of fans in the chat. Meanwhile, both of the Alpha Tauris are fighting there for P5 and 6. Court is up to 5th place. Let's watch Leroy and Joshua going side by side. Finally, we're getting some proper racing for the top 10 at least. Leroy almost had Joshua there, but Joshua again is playing the Ministry of Defence and is keeping his P8 at the moment. Leroy not very happy at all, want to get past ASAP. So, yeah, I have to say, Leroy doing a brilliant job to do all he can to try and get past. So, that, but those two are absolutely fighting tooth to nail at the moment. Meanwhile, Harry B is fighting with Jerome at the moment towards turn 8. Harry B tries to give the space, but let's go on board with Jerome at the moment. It is all kicking off here in the final few laps of the race. Why did it not happen at in the middle half of the race?
Yeah, I can understand why Leroy was desperate to get past. I mean, he's clearly going to pull those 12 seconds out his arse in the last 3 laps. So I can see why he believes he has the speed to pull 12 seconds on Joshua. As Jerome, I thought he'd actually be closer to Harry coming into the chicane, but he's going to sit back, maybe go for a late move on the last couple of laps. But the issue is, with all these fights at the moment, everyone's got penalties to the point where the overtakes don't actually matter, so we're just getting it just for entertainment at the moment.
Yeah, I think due to the amount of penalties as well. I'll keep an eye on it. I think Terra Race is the last driver to make his 2 stop. We thought he was going to forget then, but he didn't. So we'll see if Kronbacher can overtake Terra Racer at the moment. The Canada race was very, very interesting last season, so I don't get why it was not interesting this season, but oh well. As Terra Racer comes out, I think he's going to be ahead anyway of his rivals, but there's a few drivers already lapped anyway. Nope, he's not. Saronte is ahead of Terra Racer, but Terra Racer is on soft, so we'll see if he can catch Saronte for P15. He's got penalties though. So
Evans Joshua is actually on the hunt for maybe P6. If he can get within 3 seconds of Jerry, which he is lapping quite well at the moment, he needs to find just over a second and a half in these next 2 laps, and he'll actually be able to take P6 from Jerry. Is it Zocht?
I don't know. I just call him Jerry.
Jerry Zocht 11. So that's the only thing that I can see at the moment that could actually have like a race, like affect the race a little bit. So we'll see whether he can pull this. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know what could happen here in Canada, the lovely track that it is at the moment. And Leroy almost gotten over there. He almost lost it there coming through the exit of turn 8, so he must be struggling a little bit on traction at the moment. I'm just trying to see if we had any more donations so far. We had none for brain tumour research. I'm trying to see if we have any for the other one, but meanwhile we've got a battle looming between Leroy and Nova. Leroy's got no battery at the moment, so that's unfortunate right now, as we're on the penultimate lap of the Canadian Grand Prix so far, with Will Lewis for BSR still leading. Nicostos doing well in second. They're going to score some decent points as well. I do believe, if my math is correct, QBR will still be on top, because QBR have been in the top 3 pretty much in every race so far, so I'm almost certain they'll be top, but I might be wrong, because obviously Humble Squad not doing as well this race, in the last race, sorry, but it's picking up in this race, hopefully, even though they're scoring a decent amount of points. I don't know. But yeah, as Terra Racer eventually gets past Saronte, I think it was a question of when rather than if, to be honest, because he was on the soft tyres. How many second penalties is he on? He's on 3. So as long as he can get it to 3 seconds of the gap, then he should finish ahead of Saronte.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1 lap to do it, so he's got a big ask to do, but he might be able to manage it.
Yeah, I think.
What else have we got?
We've got
Nothing.
Will Lewis is just about to. Well, he's in the middle of the last sector. He's about to finish the race. As we got Nova. No, not quite. Not being able to make the move. Just there. Let's just say Jerome has been on those mediums for 23 laps.
I knew he was going to take onto the end, you know.
Has he got no? I thought he had a puncher for a minute, but it's just the graphics being
we're on
weird.
We're on reduced damage, are we?
We are on reduced damage, yeah.
Can you get punctures on reduced?
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
No. But anyway, Will Lewis heading towards the final corner now to finish off. What a great race for himself and VSR. He wins in Canada, and we got Nicostos in second, Campbell in third. Lewis has had a spin, and that allows Cortez to overtake him. Really, he was starting
what a
last.
time to bottle it.
Nova was starting last. Okay, so oh yeah, because Cortez started last earlier. Meanwhile,
Wait,
we've got
wait.
Lewis trying to get. No, he's not going to get past. So we've got Cortez 4th. Jerry will come across the line 5th. And we got Lewis, Joshua in 7th, Nova 8th, but he will drop down a little bit. But after starting last, he gained 12 positions, so fair play. Leroy 9th, Harry B will be 9th, but I don't know what the gap will be after his 3-second reduction. Safety cars made an appearance once again.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I just call out Nino Romanello in the chat? Just called that Lewis bottle 3 laps ago.
He did.
He literally said he's waiting for the Lewis Curtis bottle, and then
he
on the last
bottled.
lap at the hairpin, Lewis has bottled it.
Right, I think Lewis is going to blame you, Nino, I think, after that.
Nino, because of that, you now have to donate £100.
But, pal.
That's how it works.
Harry B gets driver of the day, by the way.
How?
I don't know how.
I think, well, my driver today, if I have to give it to someone, it's just, well, it's boring, isn't it? It's going to be Will Lewis. He just dominated the race from the start, really.
Didn't get the fastest lap, though. He lost out by 4 attempts. Campbell got fastest lap, but
Yeah, we don't give
Cortez,
it
by the
Campbell.
way, 8th to 4th. No penalties. I think the only one of the front guys did not get a penalty, so fair play to them.
And
So
he was in last minute as well. I think
he was in
the
our
race.
last minute as well because he wasn't meant to race, yeah. So we've got Lewis from Nicossos, Campbell, Cortez, Lewis, Jerry, Joshua, Nova. What's it going to do with Harry? 46, 45, 40. No, it's not going to make a difference. So Harry will still be in 9th. Leroy 10th. Jerome 11th. Schleck 12th. Kronbacher 13th. RJ Videos 14th. Swante 15th. Terrace is your luck. And Ivan might. Did Ivan might finish? Yeah, he did. I think. Go on. I think he finished. Yeah, he did finish. Okay.
He drove around the track. That's what matters.
Yeah, but he still finished. He still finished. Ivan might finish. But your timers are AJ from ERT, IRT, Renz from IRT, and J. Cole for Team 4S. So, yeah, they get the luxury of being the first 3 retirements at the 24 hours. So, but at least their teams can still keep going. It's not like other endurance events where they're out of the event for good. They're still in the event. So, yeah. So, we are going to take a short break whilst we switch the lobbies around.
Break?
Yeah, a
5 to 45 working days. We'll be back.
Yeah, so you'll still have Nolan in the commentary box, but you'll have J. Cole in the commentary box once again. I think he'll do a lot better in the commentary box than he did in the race earlier. Yeah, so hopefully we won't be that long before we get going again. I'll be racing for the first time. I'm probably going to bottle it, but we'll see.
I'm going to jinx you.
Well, J. Cole can jinx me because I jinxed him, so, but you're not jinxing me, otherwise I'll jinx you later on in China.
Impossible.
So, yeah. Anyway, I won't babble on too much because we've got races to get on with. So, thank you for watching this stint, and we will see you very shortly for the 4th race in the 24 hours, the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I'll hand it over to J. Cole for some lovely chill music whilst we wait for the lobby to start. So, yeah, see you soon. Right, I think we're off. Okay, cool.
Okay,